I'm Bob Catman. I'm a member of the WCEP board and also a professor emeritus here at UWM. And I welcome you. Thanks for coming to our brown bag session on character education. And we got some stuff, PowerPoint to share with you. Mary and I are going to start out, and this is Mary Dietz from Alberta College. And she's going to primarily lead off on the PowerPoint, and I'm going to add some things as we go through. Again, as we stated earlier, feel free to stop and ask questions as we go through. I really enjoy having them. Mary?
And when we come to the end, we'll come back to these questions. But as a way of having you have a pre-planner for the discussion, we want to talk about how you view the impact of school culture on some important issues like safety and learning outcomes for students and community connections. We really want to learn from you, from things that you've seen and experienced. I don't think we have anybody from the teacher ed program here to talk about the third question. Fourth question is similar to the first one. What issues do we see in schools that relate to the need for character and social-emotional learning? And then how might you support the work of WCEP, the Wisconsin Character Ed Partnership? So our agenda is to provide, first of all, an overview of character education and the social-emotional learning question with connections to state and national policy, and that's what Bob and I will be talking about. Actually, when we talk to people about character education, sometimes they look at us fairly blankly. And so, really, there are lots of things underneath that title. And if you look at the list of things on the PowerPoint, these are important aspects that we expect in society from our schools, but they're not testable in multiple choice formats. You know, so they don't always get the attention that they might. But how many of you are parents? How many of you have nieces and nephews you care about or children you care about? Okay. So you care about school culture and teaching the whole child. You don't want kids to be bullied by other kids. You want schools to be safe and drug-free. You really hope that students will learn to care for each other and care for their world. All of those come through these traits that we have listed up there. And I wish we had a better umbrella term.
Well, and in a way I do, and that is that when you look at character education, just like a family, it's a way of living. And it can't be a program. It's not a 1-hour program once a week or an interdiction into a different aspect of the school. It's something that occurs all the time, throughout the day, through every part of every lesson, as children respond to each other and respond to teachers. And the idea of looking at those different things where you see and say, okay, what values do we really want to have our children to possess as they move through the schooling? And so a good program will be a way of living where those values are transmitted and where children, and it's a two-way street, the children and the faculty and everybody in the school responds appropriately.
So what we plan to do in this short part of our presentation is kind of give you an overview of the field of character education writ large, definitions, a little sampling of the research and connections to state and national policy.